Hello, everybody, and welcome to the One Piece live-action LOVEcast, the only One Piece live-action podcast that RSVP'd for your Facebook event that you tried doing 7 years ago. We remember. Back when you still used Facebook? Yeah, back when people still used Facebook, remember that? I would say
that it was the good old days, but it really wasn't.
Exactly. So, we would appreciate it, at least a like on the video, for what we did back then. But,
that's the least you're going to do.
Exactly.
We're just kidding. We're just kidding.
Yeah,
but if you don't like it, I will hunt you down.
And I'll help.
Let's jump right in. Ed, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Ed. I like video games, and this channel is mainly a gaming channel. So if you also like video games, check out our videos and playlists, maybe. My pronouns are he, him, and as always, I am joined by my beloved friend, Tide. Tide, please take it away.
Hello, I am Tide, or Tamara. I use he or she pronouns. Both are fine with me. I'm a voice actor. You may have heard me in video games. If you've been here before, you know kind of our deal. If not, welcome. But yeah, the strike is officially over. SAG-AFTRA announced last night that they are kind of finalizing everything to do with their new contract, and hopefully everything is resolved there and they can get back to work soon. I'm really hoping for season 2 stuff soon.
Hopefully soon as ASAP as possible.
Yeah, as soon as ASAP as possible, please.
Yeah. God, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
That's true.
Because Ace is coming, and you know how I am with Ace.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You don't play about that shit.
I don't. Listen. If I could get any role in the live action, I don't like being on camera. I don't prefer it. I'm an actress, sure, but I'm not great in front of a camera. Just let me play the girl whose skirt he uses to wipe his face. I would be happy with that.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway.
I would be okay being literally anybody, like one of the fucking...
I'm not picky.
Yeah, like one of the fucking, marine fodder in the background that gets, blown up by an explosion, or someone that just has, not even, a line, they just, they just pivot over to, random people, to see their reactions for, a split second. I would even be okay with that.
Random civilian reaction.
Exactly. I would even do it for free. I don't give a shit, as long as,
I would not do it for free, because I am union.
That's true. But for me, if I can, as a normie, if I can just get my name on something One Piece related, official,
I know, right?
That's all that I would need. Episode 6. How about that? What's going on with that?
So episode 6, we are diving in with a really fun scene. It looks like Zoro's had a little too much to drink. And by that, I mean, he has a giant slice across his body from Mihawk.
Same difference, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Zoro's is fucking dying.
Yep.
And everyone is bringing him aboard the ship.
Yeah, they're carrying him in. It's Luffy, Usopp, and Nami, and they're trying to get him situated in a place where he can be tended to.
Yeah.
But he's all bloodied up and totally passed out. Usopp is rambling because he's panicking. Luffy is straight up having a panic attack and dissociating.
Yeah. Nami's being be careful with him, and the only thing that Usopp can say is wow, this guy has a big head, huh?
Yeah, he's got a freakishly big head. I don't know what to do. And then Nami's we need somebody. You have to go back to the Bratier to get somebody. And he's I'm not hungry right now, Nami, because
typical Luffy.
He is not thinking very, very well right now. He is, like I said, dissociating.
Yeah. Really hard. More than usual.
Yeah, I really liked seeing that because, we don't really ever get to see him panic.
A serious, panicked / worried Luffy.
We don't really get to see what's in Luffy's head. He famously never has thought bubbles at all.
Yeah, just no filter. Whatever he thinks, he just says.
Yeah,
it.
he just says.
Just like me, for real.
Yeah, I love that about him, and I love that we really got a chance to delve into more of his I guess, inner workings with just how he expresses himself here in a way that's more realistic than in the manga.
Yeah. Those are really good side of him.
And that's part of the magic of cinema, right?
That's true.
But yeah, so obviously Luffy's like, yeah, okay. And we cut back to Zeph and Sanji. Zeph's still mad that Sanji's in the kitchen. I guess they are not aware of what happened outside, even though it was kind of legendary and everyone was talking about it.
Yeah. People were yelling.
Like, there's no way they didn't, like, feel some of that.
But I guess it didn't reach the inside of the Baratie.
Yeah, I guess they were just very careful. I mean, I guess Mihawk was using his dagger for most of it.
Oh,
so.
yeah, that's true. The little knifey. And Sanji's doing food prep, and like you said, Zeph is mad at him because Sanji's not supposed to be in the kitchen still.
What do you say? Like somebody had a hangover or something?
Oh yeah. Patty had a hangover.
I hope he was drinking with Usopp last night.
I'm still a little sad that they cut out Carne.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I guess it is what it is. While they're in the middle of their little, not even an argument, because as soon as Sanji mentions, well, I mean, somebody has to do the food prep for lunch, and if I can't do it, then it's all on you. and then
they do their little. I love this little cooking montage that they do, just like them prepped and Zeph like negging him.
Yeah, you're cutting those too thick.
No, they're too thick.
Yeah.
Not enough oregano in that.
Yeah. Oregano's for savages.
God. Literally every time I use oregano now.
You think oregano's for savages.
And I'm like, oh, because I love oregano.
But then Luffy barges in. He's like, my friend is dying. He needs help. We need a doctor. But unfortunately, there's no doctor around. At least not yet. But we're going to talk about that way later.
Way later. Hopefully when we come back and do this again.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So the best that they can do is just like Zeph is like, well, I'm just gonna bring a bunch of of cooking shit with me. And he goes into the Mary, or onto the Mary rather. Mm-hmm. And just like lays down like a fish and like a bunch of other stuff like knives and stuff. Like he looks like he's gonna like start cooking, but it's like, what are you doing, man? But you see Zeph
he's about to MacGyver Zoro back together.
Let's unduct tape some spit and a dream. So he uses an old sailor's trick, I think he calls it, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, I kind of love this little addition. I really love what this says about him knowing all these old sailing tricks and actually being a seasoned person that they can learn from a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's kind of a one-off. And they do kind of have this in the source material because they have the thing about Zeph's logbook in the manga, which I thought was really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zeph steps in and gets things done and sews him up, I guess, a little bit, and and puts fish skin on him.
Oh my god. I mean, if it works, it works, I suppose.
I just think it would be funny if, I don't know if there's, an epithet that Zoro could be called from this that Sanji can use, fish skin or, fish chest. I don't know. I'm workshopping
Tuna chest.
But yeah, it's definitely original. And I actually had heard this somewhere. Have you heard of this before?
About using fish skin on wounds? I have never heard about that ever in my life, but
I have heard about that. Yeah. It's very old fashioned, and I don't think it 100% works, but
yeah, me neither. But apparently it did this time.
Yeah. It's like people using egg, the inside of the egg to heal things.
Yeah.
Kind of use what's on hand or whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, Zeph is okay, then lay him down and sing to him and tell him stories.
Yeah, sing to him, dying? Talk to him, tell him stories. Talk to him like he's 5.
Yeah, just hold his hand and tell him he's been really good.
it
but
would
he
have
is
been
actually dying, so
in this moment, since Luffy is played by a Mexican actor, I can imagine him holding his hand gently and just whispering "sana sana colita de rana." If any Latinos / Hispanics are listening to this, if you know, you know. That's all that I'm gonna say. If you know, you know.
Sorry, I'm just a gringo.
That's okay. That one's for me. That sometimes you gotta.
No, please,
Yeah.
have your things.
But yeah, Zoro's just barely hanging on to life at.
He's clinging to life. He's about to go through to see the light.
Oh my god, Zoro, come back!
But unfortunately, we don't have time to watch him waste away here. Because we're going back to the Marines.
Yeah.
And we cut away to this incredible shot of Mihawk's boots up on Garp's desk.
Yeah.
Just hanging out in his office with Yoru on his, on his desk next to his Denden Mushi.
Oh.
His snail phone. And he's just waiting there, hands folded, like he owns the place.
Yeah.
And Garp's like, okay, where's Luffy?
Yeah, Mihawk is basically like, I let him go. And Garp is like, why did you let him go? And this whole time, Mihawk is just very, very calm. And he's like, because it was funny. He's a funny little guy. And I want to see him keep doing funny little things.
I thought he was really entertaining.
Yeah!
I love that. And then, obviously Kobe is listening to all of this.
Yeah.
And I really like the way that Mihawk's like, listen, I don't take your orders. I decide.
Yeah.
I just said yes because I was bored that day.
Literally just woke up from a nap and had nothing else to do, so whatever.
Yeah, and then Garp is like, well, you're one of the 7 warlords, so the government. And he's like, I don't care about the government. I'm gonna do what I want.
It's pretty based, I'm not gonna lie.
I love him. I love Mihawk so much.
God, yeah. And then he says something in particular that really sets Garp off. And he's like, I think he might even be the one to find the One Piece.
It's very good. He's just specifically provoking him at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, that boy is interesting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he does say, your grandson, right? So Kobe overhears, oh, that's the grandson. So he finally gets some explanation as to why Garp is being so weird about this.
Oh my god.
Garp goes a little crazy after that.
Just a little bit.
Tearing up his office. Like you do.
Yeah. But hey, we don't have time to think about that because we gotta go back to the crew.
Yeah. Gotta go back to the crew. How is the crew dealing with all of this?
Well, they're just gonna eat. I mean, what else is there to do?
That's true. That is true.
So Sanchez is hanging out at the Mary, and he just uses the leftover fish parts to just make food for everyone.
Yeah, and he very importantly does say hey, there's plenty left over. Never waste food.
Exactly, which is a big thing for Sanji.
Yeah, I saw people complaining that wasn't stressed enough, but I think that this is more likely to be how it is brought up.
I mean that still landed pretty clear to me.
Yeah, it's still landed fine for me too. Yeah. I got the message. Maybe it wasn't stressed.
Yeah,
but sometimes we don't need to pause and go, did everyone get that? Did everyone understand?
Anyway, Sanji cares a lot about food. That's all that I'm gonna say for now.
Yes, Sanji obviously cares about food, cares about feeding people. And is kind of stepping up hey, I thought everyone would be hungry, but he doesn't have to be here. He could just be helping Zeph.
Yeah, but that means being either a chore boy or a waiter. So
Yeah, that's true. So he's just
but
like, well.
there's a really sweet moment because like in the while Sanji is cooking,
Oh, yeah.
Luffy's taking care of Zoro's sword, and he refers to it by name too.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Kind of, sort of. He's doing his best, all right?
Yeah, he's got the spirit. He's a little confused.
But he's there, you know?
Wadoichi monkey. Yeah, sure.
Wadoichi monkey D. Luffy.
He named his sword after me. It's kind of weird.
cares.
We just met, but
I still appreciate it.
But yeah, so he turns down food. He's not hungry, and he's still very clearly out of it. He's focusing on this one thing that he can control rather than waiting for Zoro. And he's just trying to brainstorm ways to wake him up. Maybe he just needs water, or he needs meat, or he needs something else that we can do for him. But there's nothing you can do for him because you have to wait. And that is not his strong suit.
You gotta let him rest. In the meantime, Sanji is, he's being very receptive to what Luffy's going through, because he tells him, it's very tough to be a captain.
Yeah. I like that he seems to bring up this wisdom that he learned from Zeph.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cute. You're your daddy's kid.
Yeah. It's how would Sanji know that it's how tough it is to be a captain? Well, dear listener, we're gonna go into a flashback. See, you haven't had one of those in a while.
We haven't. We didn't have one all last episode, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh no, we had a brief flashback to baby Luffy, I think. So
I was gonna be somebody tell us in the comments.
Yeah, get in the comments, yell at me anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, we go back to a flashback with baby Sanji, and he's cooking in some sort of cooked ship.
Yep, he's cooking in just a regular galley. It's not very big, but they seem to have proper uniforms and stuff. So he's probably just he's
assistant. In this little uniform and everything.
It's very cute. He's a little young, but and he's making velouté, which we saw him making earlier.
Yeah.
A kind of French cooking sauce.
Sure. And,
it's in the middle of the storm that seems to be pretty, rocking the ship pretty hard, but, he's still cooking. And they get boarded by pirates.
Oh, no. How could this happen?
And this guy comes in, his boots are covered in blood, which I thought was such a good touch.
You would never guess who this guy is.
You'll never guess. Oh, is it Red Leg Zeph?
Oh,
the infamous pirate captain of the Cook Pirates? Why, it is.
I guess you got lucky this time and you did guess.
I love his little bandolier of spices. I thought that was really funny.
That rules. That's fucking awesome.
And he seems to be carrying a chef's knife, too.
Yeah, he goes over and tastes whatever. Sanji goes off to hide when the pirates attack. And Seth realizes, oh, somebody cooked here, and then like you said, he pulls out the spices, tries it.
He needs more oregano.
Yeah. And Sanji comes out with a knife. Oregano's for savages.
Yeah, he's very offended that Zeph would dare to add spices to his dish. And he's I'd rather die than have you touch my food. And then Zeph threatens to cut out his tongue and eat it, which is very funny, considering what's about to happen.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, before anything else can happen, there's a huge wave and everything kind of goes black.
Oh, wait, but really quick, because this part is a little bit important. He's threatening. Yes, he's threatening Sanji, but Sanji is like, no, I'm not gonna die here because my dream is to find the all blue.
Yeah.
Which is a spot where all the fish of every ocean gathers.
And Zeph is like, what do you know about the all blue?
Yeah.
And then everything goes black.
Oh no. How could this happen? You know, in hindsight, I don't think it was such a great idea to board a ship in the middle of a storm. But hey, that's just me. What do I know? I'm not a pirate.
You know, I'm not a pirate. Maybe there was some other reason, like, oh, maybe they were running out of food and they needed to do something like immediately. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, not a great idea to do that in a storm, as the storm completely rocks everything. When Sanji wakes up next, they are on a barren rock.
And it just so happens to be stuck. It goes high up. It's shaped kind of like a mushroom, dear listener. It's shaped kind of like a mushroom, and they're all the way at the top. They can't exactly climb down, given the fact that, well, I mean, it's shaped kind of like a mushroom. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
Yeah,
and
there's no shore to speak of. They can't really climb down without just being stranded in the ocean.
Yeah, we're really in for it now, Scoob. And you know, they start looking around. There's no boats or anything nearby. The only thing that they can really see at this point is just like the remains of the ship that was boarded, just like sinking slowly, which I thought was like a very good touch.
Yeah, very cool touch.
Yeah.
And it really, like, I feel like they did a pretty good job of conveying the scope of it, even though it's very clearly a soundstage. Yeah. Like, they still did a really good job, you know? I didn't feel like it was empty, really.
Yeah, I completely bought it. I was like, yeah, they're stuck in a rock.
Yeah.
That's them.
Yeah, I really like the set overall.
1-to-1?
Yeah, it is 1-to-1. It was perfect. Yeah, he sends him off with a little bag of food and says, "This is all the food you get." And Sanji's like, "Well, yours is bigger, so why can't I have some of your food?" And Zep's like, "I'm an adult and you're a kid."
Yeah, so you eat less and I eat more, so I'm gonna keep the big bag of food for me.
Go over to the other side and don't look over the rocks until you see a ship, okay? Don't yell at or anything like that. Save your energy.
Yeah.
Also, I love you. Bye.
That was supposed to stay inside a thought bubble, but never mind.
So yeah, they're stuck on this little thing. Baby Sanji rations out his food as best he can, and seems like he knows what he's doing there.
Yeah.
They have some water from like rain and stuff. So the days start to pass.
Yeah, and do they pass?
And do they pass?
Oh boy, do they pass. Until one night, it's storming. Sanji sees a boat out in the middle of the ocean. Mm-hmm. And he starts, yelling at the top of his lungs. Like, he gets up, starts jumping and screaming. But I mean, the storm is just is too loud, like it drowns him out. The boat ends up just going by. So there goes their first chance at getting off that damn rock.
Yeah. Before they know it, they've been there for over a month, nearly 2.
Oh my God.
The poor kid is really going through it. He's out of food at that point. Like, there's nothing left.
The bread's getting moldy, or whatever's left of the bread is already moldy. And he's just, and at this point, Sanji is just desperate, and he starts, making a plan to steal Zeph's food.
Yeah, to just kill him and steal it. Like, he has a knife, and he's like, I can do it. I'll just go and do that. So, he picks up his little knife and he heads to the other side of the rock where he hasn't been in 70 days.
God.
And it looks like he's still alive.
Yeah. So he goes, he sneaks up behind him and cuts into the big bag of food. But what is this? It's not a big bag of food after all.
Nope.
It was just filled with
treasure.
Oh my God. So you mean to tell me, are you telling me right now that Zeph never had food this whole entire time?
No, he had no food at all. But wait.
Oh my God. Okay, Go ahead. Go ahead. What happens next?
Well, if you don't have any food and you gave all of it to a small child and you're really, 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 really hungry and you're surrounded by sharp rocks, well, you take a rock and you cut your own leg off and you eat it. So, he cut his leg off and ate it, guys.
Yeah. That's what happens.
I am really glad that this was not censored in this version. Because I know in the anime adaptation, they kind of said that, oh, he cut his leg off to like get away or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because in the anime,
they censor that.
Yeah,
part.
in the anime, Sanji had was like drowning, and Seth like went in to save him, but like his leg got caught on the chain of an anchor, so he just like pulled on the chain to like cut off his leg. But yeah, in the source material, like in the manga, he ate his leg.
Yep. Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's what you have to do to survive, you know?
Yeah, that's what you do.
But yeah, so like, you know, baby Sanji's standing there watching this guy he barely knows, and he's like, well, what the hell, man?
Why did you do that for me? I'm just a little
one
shit.
Kid.
Yeah.
You were about to kill me.
But remember, dear listener, what do we say around here about dreams?
They're really important.
And it turns out that back on the ship, when Zeph was attacking it, and when he got to talk to Sanji for that little brief moment, Sanji mentioned what? The all motherfucking blue.
The all blue.
And it just so happens that Zeph had the same dream.
Yeah. I thought that was just so sweet. The way that the actor who plays Zeph played this was just like, he had tears in his eyes when he was looking at Sanji.
Yeah, that was great.
And he was like barely able to talk. And it was beautiful. Like, I felt like it conveyed everything that it needed to. And it was like, well, maybe you can. Like, yeah, maybe you can. But yeah, we, just as they're about to, are they about to get off of that rock yet?
No, it's still, even after that revelation, they were still on that rock for like about another month or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they were there for I think like 80 or 90 something days.
I think they were there 80 days or something like it.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, even after that revelation, they were still struggling before a ship finally found them and got them off that damn rock.
But yeah, we cut back to Sanji, who's clearly like explaining what happened. And a really great line from Sanji. Do you know what that's like, having someone lose a limb to save your life?
Yes, it's so good. I love that.
Luffy's like, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I actually do.
I actually do know that, yeah.
Oh, I love that. That was such a good moment. That's probably like one of my favorite parts of the whole episode.
I just like, that was never a parallel that has ever been explored.
But I'm so glad that they pointed that out. It's so awesome. Oh.
That's part of the magic of this adaptation specifically. Is they really go in on those things. Like, okay, Kobe, the first coward we see, gets to interact with Usopp, and now like we have this beautiful like parallel comparison of Zeph to Shanks, and it works so well. Thank you.
Sanji points out that in that moment, Zeph acted like a captain and made a tough decision, which is something that Luffy is gonna have to do in the future, or is doing right now, I suppose.
And then Luffy says, I'd eat both arms and legs to save Zoro's life. Yeah. Sanji's like, okay, well, the point didn't really get across. Okay, sure.
he's still disassociating. You need to be, a little careful with him.
And like Sanji just gives him this look of just like, oh. Like, he thinks it's the cutest thing ever because he is the only person on Earth who would think like, oh, that's so cute.
It's insane how much Sanji and Luffy are clicking.
Yeah, no, it's so good, and like when I say this, I do mean just the like how they interact, but like the chemistry between them, it is really just so good to me.
Like this is beyond sparks. This is fireworks between them.
This is incredible. Like clearly something is going right here, and they really kind of understand each other. I think more than either of them really expected to. Which is, a delightful little surprise. I didn't think Luffy really expected to find Sanji or somebody like Sanji here.
Yeah.
Even though he very much did want a chef. Like, but we cut away to Nami, who's babysitting Zoro.
Yeah. She's reading him a little story.
And what story is she reading?
She's reading him the story of Noland the Liar.
Yeah!
Which is another deep cut. Because for those who know, look, I'm just going to say it. Because I don't know if
Yeah, no, this isn't really a spoiler so much as like, this is a fact going forward.
Yeah. This, exactly. So I don't know if or when the live action will ever get to this part. But the story of Noland the Liar is something that comes into the source material way later on. It's like once that they're like maybe
it's after
like
Alabasta.
Way,
it's right after Alabasta.
After Alabasta. So like it's something that we learn way later in the story, but like it correlates to something that happens. So the fact that like that we're already getting this so early on is a very deep cut.
Like, I just wonder how many people who, like, adore Skypia and, like, always are like, oh, well, Skypia is the one that people skip sometimes. We're just like, yeah, Skypia mentioned!
Skypia reference!
I really love that they chose to kind of incorporate this into the world. It made it feel, like, natural and more like, like the world was bigger than just this little ship,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, very depressing tale, ends horribly.
Yeah, don't worry about the story of Noland the Liar. Just the fact that they talked about it is good enough for us, all right?
Yeah, and then Luffy was like, "Oh, there's a city of gold. That's cool." She's like, "Yeah, no, that's not the point of the story." But yeah, they're talking over Zoro's unconscious body here.
Yeah.
In I guess this is supposed to be Nami's room.
Oh yeah. They straight up put Zoro in Nami's room for some reason. I guess she's the only one that has like an actual bed.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense though. Like, this is clearly like on an original ship. This was like intended to be like probably meant for whoever the guest was or something, or like maybe the captain on the original Mary. But like, yeah, they have little bunks, I assume. I don't know what the situation is on this version of the Mary. So
what the situation ship is, you could say. But then Nami starts talking to Luffy about it's time to be a real captain, and how come you didn't stop Zoro from fighting. But this whole time Luffy always thinks the world of his friends is the thing.
Yeah.
So Luffy like genuinely thought that Zoro could win against the best swordsman in the world, and he's not making a joke or anything. Like, it could be like interpreted as a joke the way that he says it, but like from the bottom of his heart, he believed that Zoro had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, like, Zoro believed he had a chance.
Yeah,
and he believed in Zoro. So
exactly. So believe in the me that believes in you.
Exactly, Gurren Lagann. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. God, I love Gurren Lagann so much.
Yeah. But yeah, Nami seems to kind of put the blame on squarely on Luffy's shoulders for Zoro getting hurt.
Yeah,
he didn't step up and say no.
Exactly. You're supposed to be a captain and all that stuff. But the thing is, once again,
dreams.
We have dreams, and Luffy would never do anything to stand in the way of someone's dream.
But we don't know Nami's dream.
That's true. We don't.
Yeah, Luffy straight up tries to ask what her dream is, but she's a little cagey about it.
Yeah, Nami just basically says, don't worry about it, and walks out of the room.
She's like, some people don't get to chase their dreams, and just storms out. Like, but that's not how Luffy lives.
Exactly.
Luffy doesn't believe in that.
Exactly. But in the meantime, it's time for more Garp and Kobe misadventures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they finally, get to talk about, Luffy being Garp's grandson.
Yep. They talk about the pirate in the room.
Yeah. The Gungam elephant gun in the room.
And this is where we really get the sense that like Garp is really frustrated, but you know, he loves his grandson. He's just very frustrated because he thought, you know, I was gonna make him a Marine. But luckily Kobe is the grandson that stepped up. So
Exactly. At least he's there. But he does mention to Garp, well, you know, Luffy is just built different and he was meant to be a pirate.
Yeah.
So he's just, you know,
maybe
out there.
You should just let them be pirates.
Maybe, you know, have you considered that? Have you thought about that? Says one like, Marine to another.
Yeah, no, I haven't. And Kobe's like, great. I'm glad I finally got through to you, as if this could possibly lead to anything good.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's like, yeah, just tell everyone to get on deck and we'll talk then. And Kobe's all helpful. He's
awesome.
All helpful. Like, yeah, maybe we can let him go. No, we know that's not going to happen. Anyway,
but we're gonna put a bookmark on that. But hey,
the Pillarmen theme starts playing.
Remember Merman? Remember that was a thing?
Yeah. In
the last episode, you remember how there was like a merman guy? How about we have 3 more? How about that?
Yeah, this is like fun.
Yeah. So, this is another deviation from the source material, but I thought that it was really interesting how they handled it in the live action. And by that I mean, goddamn motherfucking Arlong himself pulls up to the Baratier.
Yep, there's Arlong. There he is with 2 of his command, just casually swimming in like they own the place.
It was a really good introduction, I thought.
So Arlong walks in. I really like that they had introduced this fishman, Maitre D, so that Arlong could kind of like react to that. Like, oh, you're serving humans? It's disgusting.
It's below you.
Yeah.
Rice up, brother, or something like that.
So they push some humans out of a table and sit down again, like they own the place.
Yeah.
Zeph does not like this shit.
Yeah.
Zeph immediately comes out and is like, well, what the hell do you want?
And it just so happens that Arlong is looking for Luffy, and Zeph is like, well, I don't know who that is, but I know my friend Mr. Steak, and he would like to meet you. As a matter of fact, he's looking for you. Do you want to meet my friend Mr. Steak, Arlong?
And Arlong's like, maybe. But only as long as I eat. But after I'm done eating, then it's your head. Like,
oh no.
So he's like, either you bring me straw hat by the time I'm done eating, or else.
Uh-oh. And it just so happens that Nami was by the front door seeing all this shit go down.
She sure was. And she immediately takes off to the Mary.
Yeah, immediately. Where, in the meantime, Usopp and Luffy are now babysitting Zoro.
Yep. Zoro's
their
sitting.
Turn. Zoro's sitting. And Usopp, tells Luffy, it's like, hey, Zeph said that, we should talk to him. And all that stuff. And Luffy's being, like, really awkward about that. It's like, I don't know what to say. Hi, Zoro. Hi, hello.
Yeah, he doesn't
He's
really...
trying.
He doesn't really know what to say, and he doesn't know how to address him, so he tries, and he's like, hi. Great.
Good talk.
I like your giant gaping wound that might kill you. All right, never mind.
It compliments your eyes.
Nami runs in, and she's like, guys, there's an emergency.
Yeah. We need to get the fuck up out of here like yesterday.
Yeah. She's like, we need to leave. Sachi's like there, I guess, still like
hanging out,
hanging around. He's not even cooking. He's just there.
I want to believe, like what I said earlier, that he's just hanging out in the Mary because he really doesn't want to be a chore boy or go back to being a waiter again.
Yeah, he's just having fun with his brand new besties.
Yeah,
and their unconscious guy.
Yeah, this whoever this guy is, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It doesn't matter. He probably doesn't matter at all. Yeah. But yeah, so Nami seems really freaked out. They're freaked out that Nami is freaked out.
Yeah, she's insanely freaked out.
Usopp is freaked out because Nami's freaking out that then Luffy is just in general freaking out. Overall, bad for everyone.
Yeah. But despite all of this, Luffy puts his foot down and says, no, you know what? I'm going to stay here, or we're going to stay here and protect Baratie.
Yeah.
And this is another really good moment.
Yes. Oh,
I
this is so
love
good.
this moment so much because Sanji is like, wait, why? This is not your fight. Like, you have every right to get the hell out of here. Like, why are you fighting for Baratie? And Luffy looks at him and smiles and he says, you fed us.
Yeah, and then Sanji just gives him the biggest smile.
Yeah. It's such a good moment. It's
so cute. It's
great.
So cute.
It's great. It's so damn good.
But yeah, so Luffy decides that they need to help, and they're like, yeah, if those fishermen want to fight, let's just go. And Nami's like, oh my god. Nami's not having a good day.
Yeah, Nami's like, you have no idea like who Arlong is. Like, this guy has like the biggest bounty in all of the East Blue. Don't mess with him. I beg you. Let's just get out of here.
Mm-hmm. But Luffy does not play it safe ever.
Exactly, because to Luffy, Arlong messed with the Straw Hats first.
But so he marches off, and as we're doing that, we go back to Arlong, who is enjoying his steak very loudly and, in a way that most people wouldn't eat.
I mean, I can eat steak like that.
And he's like, well, what's the matter? Yeah, what's the matter? You don't know any fishmen, do you? Like...
So here's the thing, dear listeners, if you didn't know by now, Arlong is a human racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely is.
He's racist towards humans.
Fishman supremacist, you might say.
That's true. Yeah. He does a bit of world building exposition, because he mentions that like in human society, fishmen are the ones that work for humans, despite the fact that like fishmen are stronger, they're faster, they basically can do everything that humans can do, but like 10 times better. Which is why like he's so distraught and or not even that, he's just upset at seeing the fishman that works at the Baratie, because he tells them that it's beneath him to be working for humans. Right.
And like even though he's working, he's not like not getting paid.
It's like the Baratie is fucking McDonald's. Baratie is like, I would assume, a very expensive restaurant to eat at.
Yeah.
I would say that's a very good job to have.
Yeah, I mean, like a meal for 4 is worth a year's worth of dishes.
It's a year's worth of dishes. Jesus Christ.
So maybe they don't pay well. Either they're really expensive or they're really cheap. But we do get a little bit of that world building of giving us a glimpse of like, hey, this race is clearly oppressed, and hey, do you get it? This is kind of like, nuance. We had a little bit of that earlier. We threw it out the window.
Exactly.
Which, we didn't really get a lot of this quite as strongly in the source material yet. So I am kind of glad, for the sake of, building up the world and what we know as like readers and people who have consumed it, that it does get like way more obvious.
Yeah. But you have to wait for it, because it's a bit of a slow burn.
Yeah. I do think it's a little bit of a choice to use like trap music exclusively for the fishmen.
It's fishman hip hop.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying it's a little offensive to use trap music for fish.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't think about it. Yeah. I get it. It's fine.
Anyway,
fine. Don't worry
about it. No. But yeah, it is a little heavy-handed, and we acknowledge that. But anyway, so Luffy walks in and he goes, "Which one of you is Arlong?" Which I loved, because that's what he says when he walks into Arlong Park in the original.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And we don't actually get that moment later, because we meet him here, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
So Yeah, he walks in, and Arlong's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be bigger."
Yeah, you're Luffy. I was expecting someone bigger. And Luffy is like, "Oh, you know what? That's crazy, because so was I." Which was a perfect exchange. I love that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, "Oh, your friend helped me track you down or whatever," and then Chu pulls out one of the other fishermen pulls out Buggy's head. Just the head.
They were just hanging out, like they had Buggy's head in a bag.
So only head?
So only head. Or I'm sorry, not Buggy, Burpee.
Burpee, yes. Burpee.
Yeah, remember Burpee?
Yeah, Baggy.
Yeah. So he just they put his head on the table, and he reminds us, because this is something that he said once before. Remember the Buggy episode? Go back and watch the Buggy episode.
Yeah, actually, stop right here.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the Buggy episode, and then listen to our review of it, and then come back here.
Yeah. Yeah. Put this episode on pause and come back. We'll wait.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back.
Welcome back. So Buggy says he's got eyes and ears everywhere. Especially that ears part, because that was a little bit literal.
It was a nod to his ear literally being in his hat.
Oh my god, that was actually kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie, like the way that it wiggles its way.
It was really weird. Oh, but yeah, they seem to have been using him like a compass.
Yeah.
And he goes back in the bag because that's all he's good for.
Yeah, I like the comment that he makes when Chu picks him back up and puts him in the bag. It's like, no, not back in the bag. It's dark and wet and sandy.
I'm just imagining, right? Because they swim there.
Yeah. I would assume that it's fine because he the rest of his body is connected through Bluetooth, so he technically his lungs are still fine.
I guess, but he still has to hold. He still has to hold his breath.
I guess so.
Chu just has to keep surfacing.
But it's fine. I mean, he made it, so it's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Anyway, Arlong wants the Grand Line map and half of Luffy's crew's earnings as tribute.
Sure, earnings.
Yeah, earnings, quote unquote. But not just that, but he also says that if Luffy bows down to him, he might even let him serve in his kingdom. But the thing about Luffy is that he bows down to no man or fish. So he's inclusive, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that he's not.
You're no king. Guess what? Because I'm gonna be king.
Yeah!
Because he has to set it in 5 minutes.
That's true.
But yeah, so he's like, no, let's go. You want to fight? Let's go. But before they can really get going, Zeph pulls out a gun and shoots at Arlong. Yeah,
immediately, as soon as Arlong says, all right, let's fight, and Zeph is like, no, well, I got a gun, so here's this.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and then,
it shoots him, and it doesn't do anything against him. No, it does not work. And Kurobi gets up from the table and just practices Fishman karate on Zeph is the best way that I can say it, because it wasn't that shit was not a fight.
No,
he just used him as a training dummy.
Yeah, Zeph has seen better days.
Way better.
But yeah, he just kicks Zeph across the room.
Yeah, breaks his peg leg too.
Yeah, it's not even close. But of course, Sanji is devastated by this, jumps down, immediately kicks people aside, he is done with this, goes after Kurobi, immediately with his own beautiful fighting style.
It's really good. That was
which is kicks only. Only kicks.
Yeah.
I also like that we get just a hint of Karubi's little tattoo there on his chest.
Yeah.
Because we don't really get to see that on Arlong, so I like that you can really see it on Karubi.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he kicks and Luffy's like, whoa, hey!
It's a great fighter.
Imagine that. I love that he kicks a table and Usopp is hiding under.
Oh yeah. When Kurobi knocks Sanji on his ass and he like throws him against the table, and when the table falls over, like Usopp was immediately just right underneath it.
Yeah.
It was such a good shot.
He's like, oh, perfect Usopp moment.
Just holding onto his slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Luffy's like, oh no, like Sanji got knocked over, I have to get involved. So he goes to throw a gum pistol. Nope. Arlong grabs him. Which is a tactic we've seen, I think Kuro maybe uses this. He grabs the rubber arm and kind of uses it to throw him around.
Yeah, like right now, like Luffy can't land any hits on Arlong. He's just too good.
Arlong
He's
is tossing him around like a little rubber ball, because that's what he is to him.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have added like a kickball noise.
Oh, you're
like,
right.
boom.
It would have been so good.
So he gets a couple of hits on him, but Arlong doesn't seem that fazed by it.
Yeah. So he's it's not looking great for Luffy, but Nami barges in and she's holding onto the map.
Yep.
And
well,
admits that
before we get to that part, Nami is still on the Mary at this point. And she's got something strapped around her neck. And she's talking to, again, Zoro's unconscious body. And she's like, hey, yeah, you know what? I couldn't even let people in because I always hurt people that are around me. And she's holding the map. And it looks like she's actually, for realsies, gonna leave.
Yeah, actually for realsies.
And then she does show up holding that map.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. For some reasons, this one specific note, it seemed like I got ahead with it. I think like my notes were glitching out, and one of them just literally like moved up. I don't know how the hell I did that. But anyway, yes, you're absolutely right. At this point, the fight already moved to outside the Baratie.
Yeah,
it's they're in the area where Zoro fought Mihawk.
Yeah, they're outside on the like little docks area that they have.
Yeah, and at this point, Luffy is starting to actually like gain some ground against Arlong. Like he's punching him, and the punches are actually landing and putting some force behind them too, because you can see that like Arlong is like actually getting hurt now.
Yeah, but Arlong, I mean, he gives as much as he gets, so it's really bold of Luffy to keep taunting him right outside on the sea.
Where there's seawater.
There's seawater everywhere. And unfortunately, he is a fish man.
Yeah.
And we really get to see, Luffy stands too close to the water one time and he just smacks him with a wave. Like when you're a kid in a pool and your friends are over and you just hit him with one of those really good satisfying waves and everyone's like, no. Yeah, but you lose all strength.
Yeah. Something that I kind of wish that they had brought on from the source material, because it just looks like Arlong just steps him with a big splash of water. But in the source material, for those who don't know, Arlong has this thing that he does where with just a few drops of water in the palm of his hand, he throws it at you or flings him at you so hard that it's like bullets.
It's like bullets, yeah.
Yeah.
And bullets usually don't affect Luffy, but these are seawater bullets. So.
Yeah, seawater bullets. So I thought they were going for that, but it really was more just like a splash more than anything else.
He's like, tee-hee, we're playing.
Splish splash.
This is actually Fishman enrichment.
Yeah.
Also, just a brief note on Arlong's live action design. I really like that he has like these brittle sea stars on his shirt. I just think it's a really cute little touch.
Yeah. And also like the because in the source material, like his nose was like
Oh, it's much bigger.
yeah, it was much bigger, but like the spikes on the nose, it was just like a like it looked how should I put it? In the live action, it looks closer to like an actual like sawtooth shark.
Yes, it does look way more like an actual animal kind of would have it. It has like little bony ridges coming out of it.
Yeah. Like
rather
little,
than
like,
just kind of looking like zigzags. It looks like the best way that I can describe
like actual
it
bone spikes.
Yeah, the best way I can describe it in the actual source material is it looks like one of those craft scissors.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just as he's about to like tear Luffy's neck open with his teeth, Nami comes by with that map and she's like, hey.
Look what I got. It's the thing you wanted.
Yeah. And she's not wearing her shirt anymore, which I would only mention because it is actually relevant to the plot. Because Arlong says, hey, you thought she was on your crew. Well, buddy, I got news for you. Look at her tattoo. And it's Arlong's Jolly Roger.
Yeah. Right there on her shoulder, which up to now, Nami had only worn shirts that cover her shoulders.
Yep. Very strategically.
Yeah, very, very strategically. But now you can see that Arlong's, like you said, like his Jolly Roger design is right there, tattooed on her shoulder. She was part of Arlong's crew this whole entire time. This is why from day one she had her walls up so high and so thick.
Yeah, I mean she clearly did not want to talk about it. And everything she told Zoro was true. Like, oh yeah, I lived in a little village, whatever. But she didn't mention Arlong.
Yeah, she didn't go into detail about that.
Maybe there was a reason she didn't have friends growing up. But yeah, she's been part of Arlong's crew the whole time. And finally, we get kind of an answer for who she was talking to on that Bluetooth snail phone.
At the very tiny beginning. Little snail. Mm-hmm. The one that was drowning and coughing.
The one that Zoro definitely didn't poop on.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
But yeah, so she's like, well, don't bother, like, doing it yourself. Just, let the ocean do it for you. Let the ocean kill the devil fruit eater. And Arlong thinks that's hilarious and just drops him into the ocean.
Yeah, just like that. And they skedaddle out of there. But what they didn't count on was that someone around is able to swim. And that happens to be our boy Sanji.
Yeah, Sanji comes out of nowhere, rescues Luffy.
Like already shirtless and everything.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go. Yeah. Took his shirt off, thank God. It's like, I've seen so many like reactions to this, but just like... Let's just say Taz Skylar is a beautiful human being. That is just factual. And, like, obviously we pan back up and, like, Luffy's trying to catch his breath and Zoro's on the ship dying. Usopp is there and, like, obviously he's distressed too. Luffy's like, oh, she's gone, whatever. And then, like, there's also Sanji just sitting there, just attractive, dripping wet, shirtless. Thank you for your service. It's okay, Luffy. Just look around. Realize what you have in your life. No, but it's very serious and very, very sad.
Yeah, it's very sad despite everything else that's going on.
Yeah, despite those abs. Anyway. But don't forget that we were supposed to go to a press conference.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the thing with the Marines that was on hold. Yeah.
mustered all the Marines together. He's even got his very fancy formal hat on, by which I mean his little doggy hat.
Oh, yeah. I love the doggy hat. It's so good.
True dog boy garb confirmed.
Yeah.
That's a dog man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite look like they're giving up.
Yeah, if anything, Garp is doubling down on his efforts to catch Luffy and the rest of his crew, and he tells everybody, "Hey, if we weren't serious about this shit before, we're serious about this shit now."
Yeah, the gloves are coming off. We're gonna go for it and bring them to justice. And Kobe's like, "Oh my god.
Oh, what did I do?
Oh no, I just made it 10 times worse, didn't I?"
But then after that, we cut back to Zeph sitting in the Baratier and the aftermath of all the fighting that was going on. You know, like most of the tables are wrecked, and Sanji just like slowly, you know, comes up and starts, you know, sweeping the floor, picking up, you know, everything that was broken.
Doing your job, picking up the pieces, taking care of the place.
Yeah.
You know, Zeph looks really, you know, kind of concerned. Like, he's clearly upset. He has, like, a really old, beat-up crutch that he's been leaning on because he doesn't have his peg leg right now.
Yeah.
And another really nice touch. I really liked the addition of, like, yeah, he needs another mobility device. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he lost, like, he already lost his leg, but he lost his other leg, like, that is a prosthetic. Yeah. Like, a lot of pirate media, and like I say this knowing that it is addressed in another pirate show, a lot of pirate media doesn't actually talk about the fact that like that peg legs are a disability.
Yeah, that's
Hook
true.
hands are also a disability.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
You know, it's something that is a part of you, and then when those things get damaged, it is like deeply hurtful. I say this as somebody who uses a mobility device, so you know that kind of was interesting to me. But all that aside, that's totally just me ranting. Yay, disabled people.
Shout out to disabled people, like for real. It's not even a joke.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you're
that.
valid, and we love you.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be taking care of this." And Sanji's like, "Well, we have like a full house. We have 2 dinner seatings. Like, we have to get this done." And he's already like, you know, making a list of everything that has to be done because, as far as he's concerned, this is his restaurant too.
Yeah.
But he's like, "You couldn't run this place without me." And Sanji, like, Zeph's like, "Yeah, but like, this isn't your dream, and I know that."
Yeah, but see, the thing is that, like, you're putting it too nicely, because like, although that is what Zeph is trying to say,
yes,
he's still, you know,
this whole conversation,
it's much more rough than that.
And this is what I love about their relationship. So they are very nice to each other, but in a very mean way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because, like, very clearly, like, Zeph loves Sanji. Sanji loves Zeph. They really care about each other, but they will never fucking say it.
No, never.
What he's actually trying to say is, like, "This isn't your dream. I want you to go out and chase your dream." But what he actually says is, "You're a shithead who won't shut up about your fucking thing, okay? Like, get out of here. I don't want to hear it anymore." Like
you don't belong here anymore. Like, just get out.
This is something that I always pointed it out to my watch parties, but like there's like a translation issue happening here to everybody watching. Like, we don't really kind of get it. Like, I mean, like, obviously it is meant to be understood, but the surface meaning isn't what's being conveyed here. And again, that fact that like they really care about each other, but he comes out rough,
very
and gruff, and argumentative, and yelling, and like, "Well, you know, maybe I'll go with Luffy because he offered me a spot," and he's like, "Fine, like."
And that's it. Like, he literally leaves right after that.
Like, what is actually being said? Let me just translate. Let me just I speak rough, gruff chef. But so like Sanji is like, well, you need me and I don't want to leave you here because I owe you my life.
Yeah.
And Zeph is saying like, well, I care about you and I want you to fulfill our mutual dream. And Sanji's saying, you know, like, oh, well, you've offered me a spot. That is, well, would you be okay if I went with Luffy?
Yeah.
And Zeph is like, fine. And that means, yes, please go. And that's all Sanji needed to hear.
Yeah.
And I love that scene. Whoever wrote that scene, I love you so much. I am giving you a big hug.
Shout out if you're watching us. Leave a comment if you're watching this.
Yeah, if you're watching this, like, I love you, actually.
I would, like, legit, I would fucking lose my mind if, like, some of the cast and crew ever, like, find their way over to this.
God, can you imagine?
God.
I would be so embarrassed.
Not me, baby. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Sure, bud. I'll be right there with you. But yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, moving on, we go back to Mary where Luffy is again trying to talk to Zoro.
Oh yeah, this time Luffy actually has a lot of things to say to Zoro, and he's, you know, catching him up on everything that's been happening while he's been, you know, passed out on the verge of death. You know, he tells him about the fight and what happened with Nami.
Mm-hmm.
And he even recognizes that you know that he made a mistake, and he tells Zoro that you know he needs him because he's a very important crew member.
Nice, his first mate, and we
exactly
saw a little bit of that earlier, but like this is really where he's like, yeah, I need you to help me.
Yeah, it's
because like the captain isn't the be all end all of a crew. Exactly. You need all of the crew, which is I mean that is the Straw Hats in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly. God, I love them so much. And lo and behold, it's a Christmas miracle because Zoro starts waking up.
He does.
Yeah.
And I know I said Zoro sitting as a joke earlier, but then Luffy does it immediately. He actually does sit on Zoro as he's trying to wake up.
He places his full weight over Zoro's chest, you know, the place where he has that huge ass cut.
Yeah. You know, what you do with injured people. But he is overjoyed to hear Zoro's voice again. Oh. You know, this is exactly what he's needed. Like, clearly, he's been, like, it's one thing after another, right? He almost lost Zoro. He did lose Nami. Everything he has wanted that was seemingly going okay is like, oh no, it's starting to fall apart. Maybe I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
But you know, this is like the turning point. This is Zoro kind of reassuring him in the most Zoro way possible. Like, hey, I heard you. Like,
and even though it happened in episode 5, like at the end of episode 5, where Zoro, you know, pledges his allegiance to Luffy and you know, says that he'll be part of the crew and stuff. Let me just put it this way: he renews his vows.
He does renew his vow.
Yeah. He renews his vows.
It's a very touching scene overall.
Yeah.
Like, well, literally, because like Luffy is just all over him the instant he's yeah. He's like touching his face and like, oh, Zoro, I'm so glad you're back. But yes, we do get this very like solemn kind of vow, because before it was like, I will never lose again, and he passes out. But here, you know, Zoro is like, yeah, like I'm
like, I'll be your first mate. You'll be my captain, and we'll find the One Piece or die trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does his like I no Zoro thing again.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
That's how you know it's for real.
Yeah. I like that they're kind of establishing that, and he, you know, swears to Luffy that he's his captain until the end or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And they hold hands, which is very sweet.
Yeah.
In a friend's way.
Yeah. Exactly.
In a captain and first mate way.
Yeah.
Which,
exactly,
as we know, in One Piece tends to be a little bit intimate. And I do mean that in that just they're always strangely close.
It's fine. It's
fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. And
but
then
Usopp runs in.
Yeah, oh so conveniently, Usopp comes in, and he sees that that Zoro is not sitting up, but sitting up, I think, or just talking, I guess.
Yeah,
like conscious again.
Yeah, he's just conscious again. And
yeah.
Luffy's like, yeah, he's alive, and then throws his arm up in the air again, stretching him out.
and oh yeah, he does.
Poor Zoro's like, oh.
At this point, he's like about to be split in two.
I love this bit where Usopp comes in. He's like, yeah, we fought up those fishmen, and
yeah, he's like, I fought them off, and I was like, shoo, yeah,
like starts even. Zoro's like doesn't believe it, but he goes with it. He's like, yeah,
he immediately
Usopp. There you go.
He goes along with it like immediately. I love that so much.
That bit. It's so cute.
Yeah. He's fully part of the crew. This is the Straw Hat crew, like officially 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they decide 100% that they are going after Nami. They are making that choice immediately, and they cut to presumably a little later, where they are getting ready. Usopp's like carrying a barrel on board. They're clearly kind of getting ready to go.
Yeah. And who happens to show up, getting ready to board the boat?
Yeah, that's my boy Sanji.
Yeah,
Hi,
there he is.
There he is. He's all dressed up in his suit.
Yeah, with his little suit and
he's got
his
little
backpack.
Knapsack. Yeah.
Yeah.
His little packed lunch from Zeph in there, definitely.
And Luffy and Usopp are so excited to have him, but Zoro was passed out most of the time.
Yeah, he's like, who the hell is this guy? Is he the waiter?
Isn't that the waiter? What's he doing here?
Yeah, what's he doing here? It's like everyone else has been hanging out with Sanji for the past few days.
Yeah, except Zoro.
They're like, oh yeah, he's our best bro, and Zoro's like, what the fuck? Who is this?
Who?
Why is he here?
Yeah.
But yeah, they get ready to leave, and they're getting the ship ready to go. The sails are coming down and stuff. But we see Zeph and Patty coming out to the dock to see them off.
And then they have a few more snarky comments to make about each other, Zeph and Sanji.
Yeah, and
but very quickly, all that shit, all the little their rough way of speaking to each other immediately comes down, and Sanji very tearfully and very wholeheartedly tells him thank you, I owe you my life. I'll never forget what you did for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it justice. It was a very, very touching scene.
It's beautiful. It was really great. I think they did it justice without it directly repeating from the source.
Yeah.
And I think they're, people are torn on whether they like that better or not. I just like it. I just think it's great. I think it conveys these characters perfectly.
Yeah.
Zeph saying keep your feet dry because that's that's how they fight.
Yeah.
So cute. And Zeph tearing up the whole time he's listening, and that little cutout from the cannonball hitting the rail just framing Sanji. Yeah. I genuinely thought he was going to do the bow though.
I was also expecting the bow from Sanji to happen, but I guess not.
No, I guess not. Which that might come down to just well, is it localization versus translation? Would a bow work for
Yeah,
like primarily like American audience.
Yeah, because this adaptation of One Piece is more kind of like Western centric.
Yeah, it is very westernized. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't seen the word sake anywhere.
That's true. Because Zoro is like all about that sake.
Yeah.
But so far he's only said like beer and booze, but that's about it.
Yeah.
They do still do the what's it called, the Eastern naming convention, which is I think something that we haven't really mentioned because like we're just so used to it. Because a while ago, just like as a little side story, a while ago I saw I forgot which website it was, but like doing a really good review on the live action show, but they were referring to Luffy as Monkey because his full name is Monkey D. Luffy. So it's like the protagonist Monkey is very fun and blah 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 blah. It's like, they don't know that it's
they don't know
they don't know that his last name is Monkey and his first name is Luffy because that's fine.
It's a little bit hard to parse because we don't have like an example. Like the only people that have the same name are Luffy and like obviously Garp.
Yeah.
So we don't get like Monkey D. Garp and Monkey D. Luffy like side by side. You would probably be able to figure out, okay, it's not just like they're named after each other. It's that's their family name.
Yeah, and granted, I will say, even way back when I was reading the manga, I also thought that for some reason everybody was just like calling each other by their last names.
Yeah,
but that was like years ago. I'm talking like 10 years ago before before I saw the whole like Monkey D. Luffy and Monkey D. Garp, and I was like, oh wait, it's the Eastern naming convention.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Imagine that from a Japanese manga.
And like I feel like it could have been clearer, but like I get it. And a lot of people aren't gonna like know it off the top of their heads. So I'm totally forgiving of misunderstanding that.
Exactly. And also because like they're pretty like and also because like they're Western names, but like with the Eastern naming convention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
I totally
you have like some names later that are just like very clearly this is supposed to be a first name, but he put them as a last name. Edward Newgate. Anybody?
Edward Newgate.
His first name was Newgate.
Oh my god.
Ben Beckman, like
oh my fucking god. Yeah.
But like, it's what happens when you kind of mix those two cultural conventions and you're like, that's what your brain leaps to. And that's what's going to happen. But
hey, now you know, dear listener. Now you know.
So if you thought he was Monkey, like, don't feel bad at all. Like, it's okay. That's why we all call him Luffy.
Exactly. So back with the rest of the crew. Now that all the goodbyes have been said and all the tears have dried up. Now it's time to get back to business, right?
Yeah.
Because now
they've got a goal.
They have a goal, which is to look for Nami.
It's like Dream Light.
Yeah. So it's like, thank you for that. And it's like, how the hell are we going to find Nami?
Because like none of them are good at navigating.
Exactly. So. But Luffy knows a guy.
He knows a guy. Great. I hope he's nearby. He knows. God. Yeah, that took me a second.
Knows.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was repeating it.
I love you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Everyone in the comments say thank you, Ed. No problem. You're welcome.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, thank you. He knows a guy.
And whose guy does he know? Let me try that again. Which guy does he know?
The funniest guy in all of the East Blue. He pulls out the fucking bag that Buggy was in.
Woo! Hi, Buggy. What's up?
Buggy is now temporarily, not temporarily part of the crew, but he's the accessory to the crew.
That's what he'd be charged with.
Buggy the living compass.
That's what they call him in the East Blue, and just for these episodes.
Yeah.
But he's very, strangely happy to be here. You know, I guess this is a slight improvement over the fishmen.
He's not being waterboarded anymore, so I guess that works.
So he's like, hey guys, what's up? Aren't you happy to see me? And they're not happy to see him. And that's where we end this episode.
Yeah. That's where we end for now.
For now.
What did you guys think of the episode? Let us know in the comments below.
Get in the comments.
Yeah. Or at least give us a like, you know?
Yeah.
What are our closing thoughts on this?
I really liked this episode. I feel like it was a little late on like actual like plot moving forward kind of. But like there was so much there that I'm not mad about it at all.
Yeah, like episode 5 and episode 6 are just crammed with like a lot of things.
There are a lot of world building, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not mad about it. I really find it interesting the way that they went about like showing it. We did get Sanju backstory, but like it wasn't like relevant to what was actually happening. It was just kind of like, well, here's how I met Zeph. And this is why you should listen to me about captains. But I was really happy with the Baratier arc as a whole. I think that it did my boy some justice. I really loved seeing Sanji in action here.
Oh yeah, it was so good. Even though he got knocked on his ass, but still.
Yeah, he got knocked in his ass, but so did Zoro, and everyone loves Zoro. Yeah. I really loved the kind of exploration of like specifically Luffy's character in this episode.
Yeah.
And just how he reacts to this, and also just his relationship with Zoro specifically, even though Zoro was unconscious for most of it.
That's true.
Yeah, I really loved it. I'm super happy with it.
Yeah, this whole Baratier arc I thought was handled really well, and then even the parts where it deviated from the source material were still pretty interesting on their own right. But yeah, it was another really great arc, and I love the budding friendship between Luffy and Sanji up until he joins the crew. That was really good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, what a great episode.
That was a great episode. I had so much fun with that.
But we're not done yet. We still have 2 more episodes to go, dear listener.
Yep. We have the final 2 episodes, the closing arc of the season. And I'm really happy that we're going to end our podcast now that the strike is over.
Oh, yeah.
And there's probably going to be some more content that's out there and like behind the scenes stuff. I'm very excited to see what the cast has in store.
Yeah, who was the one that said I'm about to be very annoying once the strike ended?
It was Emily, who plays Nami.
Oh yeah,
she's like, I'm about to be insufferable. Iñaki is already posting stuff on his Instagram.
Oh.
He posted like a little karaoke thing of him and Emily singing "We Are." I just know that there is so much that they want to like catch up on.
So now that the strike is over, we won't really be putting the donation links in the
don't give
description
any
anymore.
money to anybody.
Yeah, if anything, now do chargebacks.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's a joke. Don't do that.
No, please don't do that. but yeah, obviously things are gonna take a minute to get back in production.
Yeah, because it literally, like, as of the time of this recording, the strike ended literally last night.
Last night. I got the email from SAG-AFTRA at like 9:30 last night my time. Yeah. So, but I'm really, really excited. I can't really convey that beyond that. It's just...
Hell yeah.
Oh, there's going to be so much more coming, huh?
Yeah. But if you haven't done it at this point, dear listener, check out our social media links in the video description. If you want to follow us on Twitter or any other platform that we're on, and as I said before, if you like Let's Plays, check out the channel. Check out some of the videos.
Yeah, support my friend Ed. I love him very much.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
I love you too. Okay. See you next time, dear listener.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Bye.
Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.